Today I would like to tell you about the smartest fish in the ocean. That sounds like a lot of hyperbole, but I think it's justified. And for a good part of the video, I will explain why I think that the cleaner wrasse is the smartest fish in the ocean. Now look at this cigar-shaped fish here, yellow and blue and black and white, which are dancing around this bedfish. And there's another one dancing around this pufferfish. What are they doing? They are parasite removers. So they look even in the gills of bigger fish, like in this case here. They look for parasites and for pieces of bad skin. And they then bite that off. And that is to the benefit of the big fish and as well to the benefit of the wrasse, which gets a nice meal. Here we have the Italian Renaissance philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli, the prime philosopher of power and rule. What does he have to do with cleaner wrasses? Well, here we have a cleaner wrasse attending to a lizardfish. And cleaner wrasses have been said in the scientific literature to have Machiavellian intelligence. They are very clever in ruling and dividing between their clients. Sometimes when a client is not satisfied with their work, what they do, they find a bigger client, like these barracudas here on Tubadar Reef. And so a cleaner wrasse which has gotten the eye of a smaller fish will then hide behind a big predator and in a Machiavellian sense use power to avoid punishment. We have another great man here, John von Neumann, who came up with game theory, among his many achievements in physics and mathematics. Now what's game theory? So if you look at life like you're looking at a card game or at a chess game, what moves do you have to make to have the optimal strategy with the best outcomes for you? So there are many game theoretical questions in cleaner wrasse biology. What do they want to optimize? They want to get the most meals, the most parasites, with the least amount of risk. And sometimes they also want to steal, against the intentions of the client fish, a piece of healthy skin or mucus, and they want to be able to get away with that. So how often can they get away with that before the client fish stop coming to their cleaner stations? So this is a game theoretical question. Generally they also prefer larger fish because these have more parasites. And there is a very interesting twist here. So there is the regular cleaner wrasse on a bedfish here, you can see it on the gills, but there is also a second species of cleaner wrasse, and that is a bicolor cleaner wrasse. You can see it here. It's a bit bigger and it has a different coloration. Now, these regular cleaner wrasses, the Labroides dimidiatus, they usually have a cleaner station, meaning they clean around a coral outcropping or around a big rock, and the cleaner fish will reproducibly go there. So it's like having a barbershop. And then if they cheat too often, if they pick off healthy skin too often, the client fish just will not come back to that particular cleaner station anymore. Now, the bicolor cleaner wrasse is a cleaner wrasse with a different behavior. They don't have these cleaner stations, they roam around. It's like a freelance barber who might come to your house to cut your hair. Now, if these cleaner wrasses cheat, there is really no cleaner station to avoid. And scientific studies in marine biology have actually found that the bicolor cleaner wrasses are more likely to cheat. So, slightly different cleaner wrasse species are different in their approach to cleaner game theory. Now, this looks like a juvenile cleaner wrasse, but it's one of a few species of fang planes which are false cleaner wrasses. So, this fish it's not a wrasse, it's a totally different family of fishes, and this fish does not remove parasites, it only cheats. So it only takes off healthy skin and healthy fish mucus So this is a habitual cheater, so it's a fake cleaner wrasse. So how many of these can exist before fish stop taking advantage of cleaner wrasses? Well, these are all very interesting game theory questions, which, they depend on parasite load and on fish density and cleaner wrasse density. So these small fish here, they have to make a lot of very educated and very clever decisions, really, to be able to optimize what they're doing during their lives. And this is the reason why I think this fish is the smartest fish in the ocean, and why a lot of scientists are, stating that these fish have Machiavellian intelligence. And then the question is, why are they so clever? What brain structures are giving them this head start compared to other fish? Now, obviously, the organ organizing behavior in animals is the brain. So given this high level of intelligence, Machiavellian intelligence in these cleaner wrasses, what would be more obvious than to look at the brains of this fish? And in the last 15 years, a couple of excellent research papers have come out, very diligent work, and especially there is now a brain atlas where researchers mapped the individual subgroups of nerve cells in these fish brains. And it's interesting. There are no striking differences. So if you compare a human to a chimpanzee brain, our brains are about 3 times larger and also larger per body weight. So this is not the case. These wrasse brains, cleaner wrasse brains, are fairly similar to the brains of other wrasses of the same size. And maybe there is a bit of a finer subdivision of these brain areas, but there's still a lot of interesting work left to do, and more about that later. Interestingly, it's not just cleaner wrasses cleaning other fishes. So this is a pufferfish, Redouan Bshary. I filmed that off Negros Island in the Philippines, where I'm happy to live, at night, and you see this cleaner shrimp all over the fish. So that fish is not swimming away or not trying to shake off these shrimp, because they're helping him. They're helping him take off parasites, and they're helping him take off bad skin. And there's a whole little group of this shrimp on the body of this pufferfish. Now, it seems to me, and this is a subjective impression, but not a bad one. I think I've done a lot of night dives around here, that while cleaner wrasses are active during the day, they're the visual fish, a lot of these cleaning crustaceans are active at night. So there seems to be a night and day division of labor. In the Caribbean, there are cleaning gobies, and this is something that does not exist in the Indo-Pacific. And interestingly, they're colored very much like cleaner wrasses, so also more about that later. And there are also juvenile other wrasses. I've seen that juvenile Budianos, tuskfish wrasses do. And supposedly a long snout butterfly fish, so the Forcepiger, they are also cleaners. And so these are not obligatory cleaners, they occasionally clean other fish. So there's quite a biology of cleaning besides the cleaner wrasses. Now, I've promised you a few times during this video that there will be more about different topics later, more about game theory, more about the brains, and more about the general biology of cleaners. There's still a lot to say about cleaner stations. So, when am I going to tell you about that? My plan is to shoot a full-length documentary about this fish. This is a fascinating fish. This is a fish which deserves more attention. It's getting a lot of attention by professional marine biologists, but this is something I believe the general science-interested public would be very interested in learning more about. So get in touch with me. if you want to finance a full-length documentary about this fish, I have all the tools, the camera equipment, the diving skills, and the biological knowledge. This would be awesome. Support the channel. If you have any questions, leave a comment, share on your own social media, and see you soon.